Are you taking the digital SAT? If so, you need to be a master of the question bank questions. In this video, we're going through question number 25 in our question bank series. In this series, I go through questions from the question bank because these questions have a good chance of showing up on your next digital SAT in some way, shape, or form. Let's take a look at today's question. Today's question is a cross-text connections question. It's a paired passage question. Its ID is ED528093. Let's take a look. When I do a paired passage question, I do not read both passages before going to the answers. I identify what is the primary passage, read that passage, then go through the answers to choose which one looks best to me, and then I go to the other passage to confirm my answer. In many cases, you do not need to read both passages to get the right answer. Let's look at the question. Based on the text, how would the ecologist in text 2 most likely respond to the author's conclusion in text 1? So text 2 is our primary passage, so we begin there. Ecologist J.A. has found that flamingos apply a kind of makeup to make themselves appear pinker. A gland near their tail contains pigments that come from the food they eat. When the flamingos groom themselves using the pigments, their feathers become pinker. Flamingos may do this to improve their success during mating season when they would benefit from looking pinker. Now I go to the answer choices and I see which of these would match up with what text 2 is saying. Choice A. Would text 2 emphasize that flamingos' tail feathers are pinker than the other feathers are? There's no comparison being made in text 2 about these are pinker than those, so cross A off. Text 1 is irrelevant for choice A. Choice B. Would text 2 claim that the coloring of flamingos' feathers doesn't change significantly enough for most observers to notice? There's no discussion in text 2 about who might notice what, so cross it off. Text 1 doesn't matter for choice B. Choice C. Would the author of text 2 point out that the amount of shrimp eaten isn't the only thing that influences flamingos' coloring? Absolutely. It focuses on the painting of the pigment to appear pinker, so I would keep C for sure. Choice D. Would the text 2 author argue that flamingos' diet doesn't include much shrimp except during mating season? It doesn't talk about that at all, so cross off D. Text 1 doesn't matter for choice D, so this is going to be choice C. We don't even need text 1, but let's confirm it because I would on test day. I'd take a few seconds just to make sure. Text 1 says flamingos are known for their vibrant pink coloring, but they're actually born with gray feathers. Their pink color comes from eating brine shrimp. But brine shrimp aren't naturally pink either. Animals can't produce carotenoids, the pigments that provide the pink hue. The algae that brine shrimp feed on, however, can provide these pigments. Thus, the pinker the flamingo, the more shrimp it has eaten. That matches up perfectly with choice C. Text 2 would be like, well, but they also will paint themselves pink with the pigment. And so that would match up nicely with the amount of shrimp eaten isn't the only thing that influences coloring. So this was in fact choice C. We only needed the primary passage text 2 to get this question right. If you want more paired passage questions like this, head on over to SatPrac and do the paired passage SatPrac packs. See you next time.